Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie, and another great episode today with my friend Lynn Lionhood. She's going to be here with us, and you do not want to miss it. So make sure and share this out. Let everybody know we're on. Here we go. Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Special thank you to our sponsors of Marketing with Russ, the Alzheimer's Association, Networking for Students by D. Scott Smith, Lincoln Media Group, and Kicking Cancer. For more information on the Alzheimer's Association and how to give to this amazing organization in the fight against Alzheimer's, go to alz.org.
Networking for Students, now available on Amazon, dscottsmith.com/students. Order a copy for your student or the graduate in your life.
For more information on Lincoln Media Group and their media services, go to lincolnmediagroup.com. Finally, for Kicking Cancer and how they support people going through cancer and their families, go to kicking-cancer.org. Music by Connor Hedge and Protestant, used with permission. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie, and I am ready for another day. It's a great Monday. I'm excited. I love Mondays. I know. So many of you are like, oh, it's Monday. But you know what? I love Mondays. Why? Because it's a new opportunity. It's a new day, and you're woke up and you're alive. And I'm just so excited for today. There's so many things going on this week. It's going to be a great week for me. I hope it is for you as well. But no matter what you're going through, you can always keep a good perspective. Thus, my book, Life Happens, and then you choose every day of your life. And so I hope that you are keeping that perspective on life. And if you need a little help, make sure and pick up a copy of my book. You can do that at russedge.com. That's right, russedge.com, or go straight to Amazon, where all my books are available. But russedge.com is always a good place to go for me for everything you need to know. So I'm just so glad you're here today. There's so much going on, and we're just going to start with the basics. What in the world, if you're new today, and welcome if you're new, by the way, but if you're new today, what in the world is Marketing with Russ all about? Well, it's all about how amazing people connect. And I get on the most amazing people that are great connectors, Lord, in all that they're doing. And I am just so thankful for that every day. So thankful to be connected with them and that they are so busy out there connecting. And that's what this is really all about. This is a great opportunity, not for only for you to get great value from the amazing people that I have on here on Marketing with Russ, but also to connect with them. All their connection information is in the show notes and in the links in the comments. You can also connect with people in the comments, other people. It's a great place to connect with individuals that are here to watch the show. And we always have such a great community. So thankful today. But I want to remind you today that it's Monday and you need to remind people. So please share this out. Tag your friends right now. Everybody, take a moment. Tag a couple people. Let them know we're on and just get the word out there because people need just a little reminder. Just a little, hey, by the way, don't forget. Marketing with Russ is on and Lynn's on today. You do not want to miss it. So, yes, thanks so much for that. Hey, also, like I said, russhedge.com is a one-stop shop for me. Everything you want to know about my inspirational speaking, my live stream producing, my international best-selling books. Also, you can get information there on how to connect directly with me, whether it's social media, or my email phone number. You can even schedule time directly on my calendar to Zoom with me. I would love for you to do that. Lynn and I had a great Zoom and got to know each other a little bit, and that's what you do. And so I appreciate if you would do that. That would be so great. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube page. Man, it is growing by leaps and bounds. Go to marketingwithruss.live today to go straight to my YouTube. Marketingwithruss.live. If you know the name of the show, you got it covered. You know my name, you go to my website. You know the name of the show, you got the YouTube page covered. So I keep it simple. Helps me. So there you go. So hopefully you can do that. In fact, right now you can open a separate tab and subscribe today. So please do that. Thanks so much. And again, don't forget to share, tag your friends, let them know we're on. That would be so, so great. All right. Also, every Monday and Thursday, we do a marketing tip of the day, which I'm going to do in just a moment here. And that is cut out and put out separately on YouTube Shorts, social media. So you can actually watch again and just share this with your friends. What it's meant to do is give you a little oomph for the day, give you a little push, get you going in the right direction, help you out, because you know what? There's some simple truths and some simple things that will help you more than you know. And so today we're going to have one of those with the marketing tip of the day. But I just want to remind everybody again, if you have not got your copy of Life Happens and Then You Choose, yes, we have hand signals. If you have not got your copy of that, it would bless me if you would grab one on Amazon or just go, like I said, go to russhedge.com and it'll take you directly to it. In fact, there's a little pop-up when you go to russhedge.com. If you click on that, it'll take you directly to Amazon to get that. And I would really appreciate it because I'd love to hear what you think. And what a blessing it's been for me to be able to write that. God has really used me to show that through adversity and challenges in life, we can still keep a good attitude. So, and a good perspective. All right. With that, we're going to do our marketing tip of the day. You ready? All right, here we go. This is your marketing tip of the day. Try something new. Yes, the best way not to get stuck is to try something new, because sometimes we get so stuck in the same thing, same old, day after day, or our routines become a little too routine. So now habits are good. Routines can be really good as well to help you, but sometimes we get stuck in those so much that we don't really move out and aren't able to do new things and create like we'd like to. So sometimes it's just be brave and courageous and just try something new. Remember, I know sometimes we're so scared of that. Fear gets in the way, limiting beliefs and imposter syndrome get in the way. But you know what? Remember, fear is not the absence, or courage is not the absence of fear, but courage is the willingness to do something in spite of that. So today, try something new, get out there, be brave, and that is your marketing tip of the day. All right, there we go. That'll get cut out and put out separately. And now it's time to get Lynn in there. She's just back there waiting. Can't wait to come out. Here we go. Morning, Lynn.
Good morning. Listen, I want to first applaud you for your sponsors, because I shared some information about your show and I was surprised. The first thing people did was they pointed out the cancer and the Alzheimer's stuff. They were really impressed with that. So that's great. I'm glad to see that.
Well, thank you. Thank you. You know, I am so blessed with amazing sponsors. And what we do a lot of times, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do it this way. I was going to show you something. There we go. the sponsors that we do have, when we have nonprofits, we have people and organizations that underwrite those. So it gives us the opportunity to promote them and giving and supporting the nonprofits. So thank you. And of course, they're near and dear to my heart. Mama passed away from Alzheimer's, and my dad had dementia at the end. And of course, my dad died of lung cancer, and I've gone through my own cancer journey or going through it. And so that's always something that I love to support. So thank you so much for pointing that out, Lynn. I really appreciate that.
I'm very interested in that. I'm going to go to both of those organizations and take a good look.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. So it is so awesome to have you here today. You know, it's been a little bit since we chatted. So give everybody just who in the world is Lynn and what are you up to? Let them know.
I want you to know, in all honesty, I'm no different than every single person that you've got on here listening to you today. I really am not any different. We all have challenges in our life. I faced a couple of challenges. Those challenges changed me. I mean, the person I was before those challenges was quiet, shy, not at all like the person that I am now. But you know, God has a plan for us.
Amen.
And we don't know when that's going to happen. And so he gives us tests. And I believe that I was tested. I don't ever look at those things that I've gone through in my life as horrible things. I look at them as learning experiences. And did I learn what I was supposed to learn? And that's what happened. And I became stronger and better because of it. And I think my whole family feels that very same way. So, you know, Russ, I see that you've gone through some challenges, but look at who you are today. Who you are today is probably not who you were before those challenges came up. So you have taken those things and made jewels out of them. And that's exactly what God intended for you to do.
Yeah, amen to that. I completely agree with that. In fact, you know, the challenges that we all have gone through and that are going to continue to go through are ways to refine us, to make us stronger, to utilize those experiences to share with others and make us better people. And I agree 100%. It has been such a blessing. This whole entire book, Life Happens and Then You Choose, came out of the really my cancer journey and struggles is what really started that whole book, and just showing people that you can live life with a good perspective, you know. And then I shared other things in my life, and everybody has stuff. Everybody has those challenges of their own, whatever they might be, and people need to realize it's all how you look at it that makes the difference, right?
Absolutely. I think I always told everybody your attitude will determine how well you will get through those challenges. You know, it's very easy to roll over and cry and whine about how horrible it is that your life has gone the way it is. You will never learn what you were sent there to learn. You will never grow. You'll be the same person at 40 that you were at 20. That's not good for you. So I say, accept those challenges, move on. Life will go on. You will become better.
Oh my goodness, for sure, for sure. Well, you know what? We're in total agreement about that. Let's back up and talk a little bit about what you're really focusing on other than God, which is number one. But, you know, with your life and your business and the things you're doing, let's talk a little bit about that.
I had been in corporate America for quite a while. And when I was in corporate America, I had to go do that because of this situation with my husband having this accident that really changed our life. He was not going to work any longer from the age of 39 on. So somebody had to go and continue to work so that we could continue raising our 4 children. So I did. And corporate America was okay. But, you know, corporate America is a little on the cold side. They tend to say, oh, yeah, we're there for everybody's families. But that's not what I found. I found that we were there for the owners' families and not the families of the employees. And so when a situation came up, and I had worked so very, very hard for them, I had put in hours far beyond what I was scheduled to do. But when I found that one day I had to go to my husband's side, and when you look at somebody who's on life support, you don't forget them saying, please be with me at the end. And so it was an emergency situation. I went to my boss, told him that I needed to go. And he said, I can't let you go. I can't let you go. He said, you're the top salesperson I've got. I'll give you time off next week. I said, he may not even be here tomorrow morning. And he said, I can't do it. So that's when I had to have a little talk with myself. I picked up my stuff. I went to the ladies' room and had a little talk with myself and said, you know what? I can't live like this. His situation won't get better. It'll only get worse. And so I think I need to find a way to work for myself. Didn't know how that was going to happen. Had no plan. But I got on the train and didn't forget that conversation. And so when I returned to work, I waited to be terminated. I knew I was going to be terminated, but that was okay. And I didn't get terminated. I don't think they found anybody who wanted my job, to be honest with you. But somebody walked into my office and said, you know what, I want to talk to you about some benefits that you have available, things that I didn't know about. So in the conversation, I said to her, are they hiring? She said, yes. Little did I know that that company took everybody. You were an independent contractor, so there really wasn't a hiring process. It was just an opportunity. But I went and I talked to them, and they agreed to bring me on. Well, I was making extremely good money with my commissions, and I was the sole support of my family at that point. So it was very difficult for me to walk away, but I knew that things wouldn't get better. So I just gave them a 2.5 week notice, and I walked. And when I realized what I had done, my husband said, you need to go back and get your job back. And I knew I was never going to do that. So I think for anybody who wants to become an entrepreneur, and you probably deal with entrepreneurs every day, Russ, and many of them face challenges that you don't have when you're an employee. You have different sets of challenges. Let's put it that way. It's tough to be an entrepreneur. Everybody wants to be one, but they don't realize what that entails. And for me, I missed the connection with people that you had every day when you would go to an office. You have to get used to that. So I think there were 3 things that I came up with that were very important if you're going to become an entrepreneur. I said, the first thing is you have to have the buy-in of your spouse or loved one. You really have to, because it is already going to be very, very tough out there to do it. But if you don't have that buy-in, it makes it even harder. So I say, go to your spouse or significant other and tell them why you want to do this. Because if they love you, they're not going to say no to you, but just get that buy-in. That's very important. Number 2, make them feel a part of what you're going to do. You need a cheerleader. And here's the way I look at it. When I have a great day and everything has gone wonderful and I've got all kinds of successes to bring home, well, I need somebody to celebrate with me. And I need them to understand it was not an easy journey to get to that success. So that's important. But I'll tell you what, when I have a bad day and doors slam in my face all day long, that's a tough thing to take too. So you used to be able to go back to an office and sound off against people who understood. So now you need to have that spouse or significant other become your cheerleader. So empower them by letting them know they have an important part in what you're going to do. It's simply to be a cheerleader, either for the good or for the bad. And most importantly, set a time frame. Set a realistic time frame, because they want to know when you're struggling and things are not going well, how long is this going to last? And unless you want that constant bickering in your ear, set a time frame. So I did. I set a time frame and said, look, I think I'm a slow learner. Give me a year. If I'm not replacing my income completely in a year, then I'll go get my job back. If that isn't an impetus for me to stay on track and do what I need to do, it was. But it also realistically tells them when the end is coming and when we're not going to do this nonsense where we're not making any money anymore. So I think if you did those 3 things, you'd have better success. But then you have to go out and you have to figure out, how am I going to find all these people that I have that I need to grow my business, which is where you and I come in. If you don't have people like us, if you're just taking every Tom, Dick, and Harry, trust me, I've been around long enough doing this to know that, no offense to anybody, but 95% of the people out there really are out there telling you that they're building networking groups, and what they're really doing is building an audience to listen to what they do. And I don't think that's what you're doing, Russ. And that's definitely not what I'm doing, because my whole purpose, I make no money doing what I'm doing. I'm doing it to give back to God for the blessings of my daughter and my husband still being here against odds that should never have happened. And I will always be that way. But I think then when you do it and you find somebody like you or I that's doing it for the right reasons, stay with that person. And don't be a bad guest. Don't be the guest that comes in and says, I'm going to sell my widget, and if I don't sell my widget, I'm out of here. Well, I say you better just walk today, because this is not about selling your widget today. This is about building a relationship. You build a relationship. It doesn't matter if Russ buys my widget. I don't care if Russ ever buys my widget. Because if I build a good enough, strong enough relationship and I help Russ, you know what's going to happen? Russ is going to make introductions for me, and I'm going to love Russ even more than if he bought my widget. And so
Oh
I
my
think
goodness.
that's what needs to
I'm
be
with you
done.
100%. Yeah, I'm with you 100%, Lynn. And also, I agree 100%. I have a beautiful wife who is so supportive in all that I do and a family. And that is so important to have that. And also, you're right. It's all about giving and blessing other people first. Love the Go Giver theory by my friend Bob Berg and John David Mann, who wrote that book, The Go Giver. If you haven't read it, you should. Amazing book about, you know what, it goes against logic of this world, but not logic of God. And that is giving and blessing other people. It ends up coming back to you. People, you end up doing better when you're focused on relationships and helping other people. They are not about selling your widget or your service. They're all about connecting and growing and blessing other people. When you do that, things always work out for the good. And so, yes. So keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
No.
you're doing so great. I love what you're all about. Keep going.
I think those are just great things. I really do. And so I think people just have to get their head on straight about why they're really going to networking groups.
Right.
And so I usually start my networking groups out, and somewhere in the very beginning, I'll tell people, if you're here for that reason, or if you don't want to share your information with every single person that's here, maybe you're in the witness protection program, time for you to leave. This is not the right meeting for you. I want to just be very clear about what I expect. And so consequently, I get a lot of people. I taught them all exactly how to network with each other, and it's working out wonderfully. They understand relationships. They understand that you and I may never have anything in common with our businesses, but that doesn't mean we don't have anything in common as people. And it really is more easy to help other people than you think, but you've got to get that stuff started. I think that I'm also trying to teach them about gratitude. I think that's a word that is just not used enough. I think that I read a book, and the book that I read was Thank and Grow Rich, not Think and Grow Rich, Thank and Grow Rich by Pam Grout. And I only remember the first two experiments. She's got like 11 or 12 or 13 experiments in it. The first two experiments, I never needed to go any further than that. That book changed everything for me. It made me realize that while I thought I was living in gratitude, I really wasn't. And so I decided to make some slight changes in my life to make sure that everyone knew that I was grateful for everything they brought to my business, to my life, to everything. You know, guys, I do Legal Shield and ID Shield, and there are thousands of people doing that. But I want the people that do business with me to understand they are not just a commission to me. They really aren't. I want them to understand that I am invested in trying to make sure that their businesses grow. If their businesses grow and flourish, guess what? They stay with me. If their business goes defunct, they have no need for me anymore. And so you have to go that one step further. Stop letting it be about just you. So some very simple things that I did to show more gratitude to everyone in my life, not just the people that I was networking with, but I think you've got to do this. If you pick up your telephone and you look at how many contacts do you have in your phone, you know, most people have more than 20. I had hundreds, but those hundreds of people are in my phone. Now, why are they in my phone? They're in my phone because I care about those people. They have done something that make me want to put them in my phone. But 10 to 1 says you probably haven't talked to some of those people in ages. Pick up that phone every morning, say your morning prayer, pick 20 people out and send them a little message before they get out of bed in the morning about what they have brought to your life, what you want for them for the day ahead. Let them know you're thinking about them. There's nothing more beautiful than waking up and knowing that somebody thought about me before I got out of bed in the morning. And when you get in the habit of doing those things, pretty soon it carries throughout your whole day. So that was a great book that really had a big influence on me. So that's kind of where I am, Russ. I love
that. I love that. And I've never seen that book, Thank and Grow Rich. I got to look at that one because I love that. And, you know, really what you're all about and what you're focused on is what is so important. And, you know, we're all about how amazing people connect. And you are so good at that because connection and community building and relationship building is so important. And that is something that people get confused with sometimes because it's not just contact somebody to try to sell them something or do something. It's about really getting to know people, letting them get to know you. We talk about in sales, they talk about the know, like, and trust, and they kind of talk about it flippantly, but it's really true. You need to get to know people, really like people, and really trust people, which takes a deeper relationship to get to that point. And that is where things happen down the road, where you get people that need legal shield and an ID shield, things that you do. People then look at that. I love the book that I talk about so often, and that is the How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Such an amazing book, a timeless book that everybody should read. But so many important stories in there about people that just got to know people, build relationships, and then how magical things happen because of that. God blesses you when you're looking to actually bless other people, build relationships, and do those things. And you are all about that. And I love that. So
it's funny, that book had an effect on me, and I'll tell you why. I was the second oldest of 8 kids. And my father, because we had so many children, had to do a lot of the things around our house to make our home a home. And back in those days, because they don't do it as much these days, wallpapering was a big deal. And my father would wallpaper all the rooms. And the kids would kind of draw pictures on the wallpaper, and then he'd have to re-wallpaper again the following year because it didn't look so good. So one day he was a dry cleaner. He owned his own dry cleaning company. And eventually that dry cleaning company went berserko. But he had salespeople who would come in to see him, and they came in and wanted him to be a spokesman for one of their companies selling chemicals and all the supplies to dry cleaners. And so they put him through the Dale Carnegie course. And he came home with this book, and he said, I have to read this book, but I don't have time to read the book because I have all these responsibilities at home. So I want you to come in, and I was about 9. I want you to sit in this room as I wallpaper the walls, and I want you to read this book to me. And I read the book to him about 3 times through, but that stuff was sinking into my head, and I didn't realize how powerful that was going to be for me. So now looking back, I'm grateful that he made me do that, because that taught me a lot of stuff. But there's another great book I want you guys to write down, and that's called Hiring the Heavens. Hiring the Heavens by Gene Slatter. That is a powerful book that will help all entrepreneurs. Short read, excellent book, not to be missed. I mean, you will enjoy that book so much that you'll buy it and give those copies of that out to everyone. I will quickly tell you one short story about the first book that really made a difference to me when I became an adult. No company that I'd ever worked for had ever talked about personal development. They just never did. It was, they weren't caring about me growing. They were caring about me growing their business. That's all they cared about. So I had this book called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. And I read that book, and it's a powerful book too. It's a book all about just that little bit more that you do every single day and how that will increase where you're going to end up. So you and I, Russ, are going to go to the gym every day, and we're going to work out and try to lose 30 pounds this year. And at the end of the workout, I'm going to go home. And at the end of the workout, Russ is going to run one more time around the track, and Russ is going to do 20 more jumping jacks, and Russ is going to do one whole set of exercises. He will not see a difference today. He will not see a difference next week. He won't see a difference next month. But at the end of the year, compounded, where's Russ going to be? He's going to be far ahead of me. And that book resonated because it was good for business. It was good for your personal life. It was good, period. So I bought 100 copies and gave it out to everybody. Little did I know, 3 years later, I appear in that book now. I am an example in that book on the new revised edition. So that's when you know you're making a difference, when somebody looks and notices what you're doing. But let's talk about all these people that I network with. I absolutely adore those people. But I think that when people go into a networking event, and let's say there's 50 people, they need to go in there and they need to look at those as not people. Forget their names, forget what they do. Look at them as books on a shelf. If you think about them as that, every single one of those people has a story behind them. And it should be your job to read every one of those books. Pull off 2 or 3 and sit down with those people and get to know them. This is how networking should be taught. But it's not. Nobody teaches you. They just throw you in a room and just think the magic's going to happen. And it doesn't. For a lot of people, it's very disappointing. They invest a lot of money. They get nothing out of it. They don't realize it's because they've put nothing into it. So I think that if I were to meet you for the first time at an event, Russ, and I wanted to follow back up with you, the first thing I'd say is, Russ, what did you want to be when you were 18? Do you understand how powerful that question is? Because Russ is going to say, I wanted to be an astronaut. Did you really, Russ? Are you an astronaut today? No, I'm not. Okay. It's no fault that you're not an astronaut, but I want to know, Russ, what happened from the day you dreamed about being an astronaut till you got to where you are today? And you need to be very quiet and take notes and learn Russ's story. What happened to Russ? Because that's where I'm going to hear the story about cancer. That's where I'm going to hear the story about a job you got and you got fired and you thought the world was going to end. And that teaches me what kind of a man Russ really is. And that's when I find out, where did Russ live? What kind of jobs did Russ have? What kind of a family does Russ have? What are his interests? I learn everything. And then guess what? When it comes time for me to refer people to you, Russ, it's not just referring people to you for what you do today. It's referring people to you that have like interests, have gone through similar incidents, and that will build strong relationships for you as well.
Oh my goodness. Yes. I got to say that is so true, because as you're going through things, even as I reach out to encourage and inspire other people through what I'm going through, people inspire me and come back in such amazing ways because of things they've gone through, the community I build because of like challenges in life, as well as like good things, And so you are so on. And you know what, Lynn, we're going to have to do this again because we've already run out of time, but you're so amazing. We're going to have to schedule another episode. So listen, I appreciate you so much. What I'd like for you to do is wrap it up and put a little bow on it and tell us, what is your gold nugget of today? What do you really want people to remember going away? Like you read that book over and over.
Okay.
Give them the highlight of what you really want them to remember, and then remind everybody how to get in touch with you.
I'm going to tell you my favorite quote because it always works. Successful people will always do the things that unsuccessful people will not do. Remember that. If they remember that, they'll be fine. And the best way to reach out to me is go to my email at RHL, which stands for Really Happy Lynn, 6807@gmail.com. Or literally, I'll give them my phone number. I have no problem with that. 630-697-6889. Please come join us at Lunch with Lynn on K-Fred Radio. I would love to have them there. Anyone who comes, I promise you, I will work like a dog to make sure that your business is successful and make those connections for you.
That is so great. Hey, Lynn, I want you to one more time, so we make sure we get all the information. We got your phone number, but say your phone number and your email one more time.
Beautiful. Phone number is 630-697-6889. And my email is rhl6807@gmail.com.
Perfect. We'll make sure all of that is in the comments and in the show notes. And listen, everybody, it's all clickable. You can go directly to it, go straight to Lynn today, and that is what you want to do. Connect with her, because, wow, talking about a dynamo, somebody that will help you move in a powerful direction, the way that God really wants you to go. And that is what is so important in life. So, Lynn, thank you so much for being here today. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate you being here. I'm going to say goodbye on screen, but hang tight in the show and in the green room, and we'll schedule another episode.
Thank you, Russ. You're an inspiration to me. You don't know. You are.
Thank you, Lynn. I appreciate you. I'll see you in just a minute. Boy, everybody, I'm telling you, I don't even know what to say. Amazing. It's been a little while since Lynn and I were able to talk last, and it's all coming back to me how amazing our first conversation was. And we're going to schedule a follow-up to this. So keep your eyes peeled in the next few months for another episode, because Lynn has got so much wisdom and so much energy to help inspire you to move in that positive direction. And so I just want to thank her so much for being here today. If you have any Legal Shield needs, ID Shield, reach out to her. I'm a Legal Shield customer. Great organization. And so I highly recommend that. So anyway, what a blessing. And if you remember next week, don't forget, or no, actually starting this Thursday, every Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we're here on Marketing with Russ. So we'll have another episode this week. Don't miss it. Make sure and tell your friends Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for your viewing and listening pleasure. Yes, after we go live at 8 a.m. Pacific, guess what? It sits on LinkedIn and YouTube forever, Facebook for 30 days. So you go back forever and watch it and share it and get all the information off it that you missed. Also, it then converts to audio podcasts. You can listen on any of the major audio podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, goes on and on and on, all the options that you have. So please today, like, share, and comment wherever you go. Engagement is so important in life. You know, look at how engaged Lynn is today and all that she's doing. That's what helps drive you. Get engaged in life and all that you're doing. And like I said today on the marketing tip of the day, try something new. Get out there, shake things up a bit, and that will make a big difference in what is happening. So again, appreciate everybody for being here. Again, there you see it, Mondays and Thursdays, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, please subscribe to my YouTube, Marketing with Russ.live. Super simple. Appreciate everybody for being here today. And let's see here. Let's see what the last thing I had for you. Thank you. Just want to say thank you, and what a blessing you've been. Oh, my co-host, who I keep forgetting. Kermie wanted to jump in and say hi. Make you smile today on the way out. Have a blessed and amazing week. See you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.